Have you ever met someone who always acts like they're better than everyone else? Like their opinion matters more, their pain is bigger, their success is more important, and their mistakes don't really count the same way? Or maybe, if we're being honest, have you ever caught yourself feeling that way sometimes? Not loudly, not openly, but quietly inside your mind. That feeling of, I'm different from them, I'm smarter than them, I'm more aware than them. I'm above this kind of thinking. I'm not like these people. That mindset, that inner voice, that's what we call a superiority complex. And today we're going to talk about what that really means in simple terms, how it affects us, how it affects people around us, and how we can stay away from this mindset without losing confidence, self-worth, or self-respect. Not in a heavy psychological way, not with complicated definitions, just real life, real feelings, real behavior. Real impact, because this mindset doesn't always look arrogant on the outside. Sometimes it looks calm, sometimes it looks mature, sometimes it looks self-respect, sometimes it even looks like self-love. But inside, it's something very different. Let's talk about it. What superiority complex really means, in the simplest way possible. A superiority complex means feeling above others instead of equal to others, not better than yesterday's version of yourself, not growing, not improving, but better than people. It's when your self-worth comes from comparison, not growth comparison, not healing comparison, not learning comparison. It's when someone feels valuable only because someone else feels smaller. And here's the truth. A superiority complex is not confidence. Confidence says, I know who I am. Superiority says, I need to feel above you to feel okay about myself. Confidence doesn't need comparison. Superiority survives on comparison. Confidence is peaceful. Superiority is restless. Confidence is quiet. Superiority is defensive. And sometimes superiority doesn't show up as loud arrogance. Sometimes it shows up as silent judgment, eye rolls, internal criticism, feeling different, feeling more aware, feeling too evolved for these people, feeling too deep for this world. That silent internal separation from others. I'm not like them. They're immature. They don't get it. They're basic. They're shallow. They're emotional. They're stupid. And slowly you stop connecting. You stop understanding. You stop empathizing. Not because you're bad, but because your mind starts creating distance. Where this mindset comes from. Here's something important. People don't develop superiority complex because they truly feel strong inside. They develop it because something inside feels insecure, unseen, or unsafe. Sometimes it comes from being criticized a lot growing up, being compared constantly, feeling ignored, feeling not good enough, being emotionally invalidated, feeling powerless, being bullied, feeling invisible, being underestimated, having to prove yourself all the time. So the mind creates protection. If I'm above them, they can't hurt me. If I'm better than them, I'm safe. If I look down on them, I don't have to feel small. It becomes a defense mechanism. Not ego, not pride, not arrogance, protection. The mind tries to protect your self-worth by building a mental ladder where you place yourself higher. But protection built on comparison always becomes isolation. How it impacts us internally. At first, superiority feels good. It feels like power. It feels like control. It feels like emotional safety. It feels like distance from pain. But slowly, it creates inner problems. You become emotionally disconnected. You feel misunderstood. You feel alone, even in groups. You feel irritated easily. You lose patience with people. You feel surrounded by idiots. You feel like no one matches your mindset. You feel like no one is on your level. And the scariest part? You stop learning, because learning requires humility. Growth requires openness. Wisdom requires listening. When you feel superior, you stop receiving. And when you stop receiving, you stop evolving. You become mentally closed, emotionally rigid, psychologically stuck, not growing, just defending an identity. How it impacts relationships. Now let's talk about people around us, because superiority doesn't just live inside, it leaks into behavior. It shows up as talking more, listening less, correcting people constantly, invalidating emotions, minimizing others' struggles, being emotionally unavailable, making people feel small without saying anything, being dismissive, being sarcastic, being right instead of being kind, being distant, being unapproachable. People start feeling not heard, not valued, not respected, not safe to open up, not equal, not comfortable. And slowly, they withdraw. Not because they hate you, not because they're jealous, not because they're weak, but because humans don't feel safe where they feel inferior. So relationships fade, connections weaken, emotional intimacy disappears, friendships become shallow, conversations become surface level. And the person with superiority complex often says, people don't understand me, people are fake, people are low level, no one is real anymore. But the truth is, people don't feel emotionally safe. The loneliness it creates. This is the silent consequence no one talks about. Superiority complex creates isolation, not physical loneliness, emotional loneliness. You can be surrounded by people and still feel disconnected. You can have conversations and feel empty. You can have friends and feel misunderstood. You can be admired and still feel alone. Because superiority builds walls, not bridges. And walls protect you, but they also trap you. The difference between self-respect and superiority. This part is important. Self-respect says, I choose peace. I choose boundaries. I choose my values. I choose growth. I choose healthy energy. Superiority says, I'm above them. They're below me. They don't matter. They're lesser. Self-respect doesn't require putting anyone down. Superiority always does, even silently. You can walk away without looking down. You can choose solitude without feeling above. You can set boundaries without superiority. You can protect energy without ego. How to stay away from this mindset? Not by hating yourself, not by suppressing thoughts, not by forcing humility, not by pretending, but by awareness. Start with this shift. Instead of I'm better than them, I'm different from them. Instead of they're beneath me, they're on a different journey. Instead of they're stupid, they're learning. Instead of they're immature, they're at a different emotional stage. Instead of they don't get it, they haven't experienced what I have. Difference is not hierarchy. Diversity is not superiority. Second shift, replace comparison with curiosity. Instead of judging, ask, what shaped them? What experiences formed them? What pain did they carry? What did they survive? What did they grow up in? Third shift, ground your self-worth internally, not from achievements, validation, attention, comparison, being right, being admired, but from character values, integrity, growth, kindness, self-awareness, emotional maturity. Fourth shift, practice emotional humility, not humiliation, not self-disrespect, not shrinking yourself, but humility, the kind that says, I don't know everything. I can learn from anyone. I'm still growing. I'm still evolving. I'm human. The healthiest mindset is not I'm superior, and not even I'm equal. But we're different, but we're human. Different paths, different awareness, different wounds, different conditioning, different maturity, different experiences, same humanity, same fears, same need for love, same desire for safety, same need to belong, same emotional needs. Closing message. Here's the truth. Superiority complex doesn't make you powerful. It makes you isolated. It doesn't make you strong. It makes you rigid. It doesn't protect you. It disconnects you. Real strength is not standing above people. Real strength is standing with people without losing yourself. You don't need to be above anyone to be valuable. You don't need to be better than anyone to matter. You don't need to look down to feel tall. Your worth is not a ladder. Your value is not a competition. Your growth is not a comparison. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to walk alone sometimes, but you don't have to feel above to feel whole. Because the highest form of confidence is not superiority, it's inner security. And the deepest form of power is not dominance, it's emotional intelligence. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you feel connected with this content. Good luck, and stay safe.